So we're going to talk a little bit about why you don't really want to put cash into a Roth IRA. You know, a traditional IRA is you get a tax deduction and then all the earnings and that original amount is taxable when you take it out. A Roth IRA is you pay the government the tax on it, then the balance smaller after you pay tax on it, the smaller amount goes into the Roth IRA, and then from there on in, all the earnings are tax-free. Now, not only are they tax-free for you, but they're tax-free for whoever inherits that, as long as it's been open 5 years and the original owner is either a certain age or has passed away. So if it's an heir, you've passed away, it's been open 5 years, they can take all the money out or they can keep it alive, and every single thing that it earns, all the dollars that it earns, are tax-free and immediately available because the original owner's gone. So you could keep that money in there, and as long as you didn't deplete it and close it, every deal you did, you could take a certain amount, any amount, as long as you didn't take it all, you could take a certain amount out and there's no taxes on it. And it's available to you. The heir could be 15 years old. They don't have to wait till they're 62 and a half. So it's an awesome program. So how do you get money in a Roth? Well, there's not a lot of ways to get it. You know, if you make a contribution, you can't make a very large contribution to an IRA. Now there's a different subject. A solo 401k Roth component is a different ballgame, and we'll talk about that in another issue. But the traditional IRA, you can only put in a certain amount. I don't remember what it is. It's, you know, I don't know, $5,000-$6,000 a year. It's not very much. But you can convert as much as you want. So if you have $100,000 in a traditional IRA and you said, I want to convert it, well, you have to pay taxes on that $100,000. And if you're in, let's say, 30% tax bracket, state and local, then you would have to pay $30,000 in taxes to move that money into your Roth IRA, and then of course it's tax-free, it's already paid on, and then all the earnings are tax-free. But if you move cash in it, the IRS says, well, that's $100,000 in cash, so the value is $100,000, so the taxes are based on the value, so the taxes are 30% in our little example of $100,000. But what if you move something different than cash? What if you moved a promissory note? Do you know the IRS will allow all kinds of deductions for non-cash assets? Because see, they want their money out and they have to value what you're taking so they can come up with an amount to tax. So for example, you could have a promissory note, and depending on the interest rate, depending on how long the note is, the collateral, are there restrictions? You can't pay it off, or you can't pay it off, or you can't sell the note without this or that. The more restrictions, the less value it has in the IRS's eyes. See, that makes sense. If I had $100,000 in cash and a $100,000 note, I said I want to sell you for $100,000. Well, obviously, $100,000 in cash is $100,000 in cash. But the note, you might go, well, I don't know. Who's the note? Who's the guy that owes you the money? Does he have good credit? Does he have great collateral? What's the terms? Is it a high interest rate? And then you end up discounting the value of the note. Well, the IRS does the same thing. So if you took your $100,000 in your traditional IRA, and let's say you had a CheckBook IRA and you bought a note, maybe you loaned money to one of your business friends, and now that note is what your IRA owns. Your IRA doesn't own the $100,000. It made a loan. So it owns a note. So now the note is what you put into the Roth IRA. Well, guess what? The IRS will allow you a lesser value because it's not worth the same as a cash. So depending on it, you can get 30, 40, 50, sometimes even a higher percentage discount. So let's say you got a 50% discount. Well, now when you convert your traditional asset into a Roth asset, the value is only $50,000 if that's what the valuation comes in at. Well, 30% taxes on 50 is $15,000 versus $30,000 on $100,000 in cash. So you've just saved half your taxes. Now that note is in the Roth IRA. If you happen to sell it, or the guy comes back and says, look, I don't really need this money. I was going to make the investment. It didn't work out. Can I buy the note back? And you go, well, sure. Roth IRA now sells the note back to the guy for $100,000. Well, remember, all the profits in a Roth IRA are tax-free. So now that $100,000 in your Roth is sitting there. Man, you only had to pay tax on about half of that amount to get it in there. So don't put cash in an IRA. Put it into, or in a Roth IRA. Put it into a traditional IRA. Get it into an asset, and we help you, and we get the valuation. We go by the guidelines the IRS gives us. So this isn't something that's in a gray area. This is as common as the day is long. But there's tricks that we have to get you a higher discount and be able to set it up. So Roth for you, tax-free. For your heirs, tax-free until they're 82 years old. But if you're going to do it, start out with an asset that will be valued at less than cash.